If you're
Wow.
renting,
Yeah.
you're paying 100% of the interest.
Right.
Because everything that you're paying, you're never going to see again. People make a lot of money with stocks. But for sure, real estate by far is the number one way to build wealth.
Welcome to the 200% Life podcast. We are here in the Pod Media Lab studios once again. Second season. It's been a great season so far. But today is not going to be anything less than what you want to hear because we have a lot to offer. We're going to be talking about the real estate market, and there's probably a lot of questions out there on what it is to be in the real estate market right now. But before that, don't forget to rate, subscribe, like on all of our pages. We are definitely in the midst of a great season, and we want you to just check out all the previous episodes as well. And today I do have back in the show in the new studio. This is the first time in the new studio.
Nice.
Absolutely.
Very nice.
Lab.
Don't fuck up the table.
Yes, please do not.
I love that.
we keep it light here. We keep it light. But my brother and also business partner Yuri Gomez here at G World Nexus LBT Realty. We've been doing this for almost 18 years now, and who better to talk about real estate than us here because we are in the business, and I want to talk about a couple of subjects, and I know you're in construction and a couple of the things, and wanted to kind of bring that to our audience. So how you doing?
All good. Yeah, with construction. I mean, real estate, we can't stop talking about real estate. It's like birthdays, we're talking real estate. Somebody's leaving the country, we're talking real estate. Yes, we're in the pool drinking, we're talking real estate. So, but yeah, no, exciting times, changing times. So definitely has made us evolve and change. So super exciting.
So we're shooting this episode in August. It's August 2023. It's going to air probably in a couple of weeks. But so it's taken us from January 1st to August now. It's been technically just a big, it's kind of, not, I want to say roller coaster, but technically like in stages. But what have you seen, let's say, in the first 3 quarters so far of the year? What are the big changes you've seen so far? And in both, residential, commercial, or even consumer, just real estate in general?
Okay, well, several angles to talk about this. So for the point of view, I think, of the clients, for sure, there has been raises on interest rates. I don't think that's a taboo anymore, right? Everybody knows about that. That's the federal government trying to, stop the inflation a little bit.
Yeah.
So we can talk about that. On the realtor side, I think also a lot of changes. A lot of people, I think that now this season, that they are deciding whether to stay or not in real estate.
Yeah.
And I think that you definitely more than ever need to be in a strong team, and strong leaders that can guide you. We have been fortunate to go through a couple of these already, including the big one from 2008.
Correct.
So, but if you have somebody that hasn't gone through that, it's a tough market right now. But we're excited for what's coming and how that's going to change. And then in the construction side, also, there's been a lot of changes. So maybe we can take one at a time.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Let's say one at a time. So let's talk about interest rates right now.
Yep.
Right here in August, I think right now an FHA loan is quoting, 7.5%, which to some people it's crazy, but we started in this business. I think that was a rate anyway back then.
Yeah, we were close in 2005, 6, like at 8.5.
It was like nothing.
9, I think that a lot of people unfortunately got spoiled because of the COVID rates.
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's never coming back unless there's COVID 20, God forbid, or 21, I don't know. But those were basically super artificial interest rates that to stimulate the market again. We were closing at 3%. Like I closed my house in Tampa at 3.5, year ago. But I think that people are realizing, obviously, that we're going back to a normal market.
Historically, I think the rates were in the 7s. I mean, in the 80s, obviously, much
higher.
Yeah, like 15-16%. And then people say, oh, well, the houses were probably $80,000 back then, but it's the truth. But that was still the interest rate. So affordability and inflation still is the same. People made less money back then. People are making more money now. So everything kind of adjusts together. But in essence, like the 7.5%, 7.75% is a normal rate. I remember in 2005 and 6 when we started this business as mortgage brokers, and then real estate. When somebody got a 5.875, I was like, "What did you do? Who did you kill?"
Yeah.
It was crazy, but that is a standard right now, and that's something that you really can't change. That's what the government is doing.
Which is the average? If you go back 30 years, if you go, you can Google it. Don't take our word for it.
Google it.
Google it. His average rates in the last 30 years, it's like 7.5. So we're again on a normal market, and for what the feds are saying, basically we are going to be like this for the next year or so. So definitely not the time to wait that it's going to go down to 2 or 3 again. That's not happening anymore.
Right. Yeah. So people are saying are waiting, and I said waiting for what really, because is it the stabilization that we needed in the market. And that the interest rates obviously halted a lot of people. That happened last year, going into the 5s, then in the 6s early this year, and then now in the 7s. I mean, it's insane. But and what have you seen? Has any of the sellers or construction or anything we've seen some of them actually counterattack that to help people get over those high interest rates? We've seen a lot of rate buy downs right now.
Oh, of course. Yeah, no, there's definitely, it's a great opportunity again, for the realtors that are listening, as well as the clients that may be working with a realtor that started last week, is that, there is communities that we are now choosing and handpicking for our clients, where the builders are paying $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 for you to close at 5% right now.
Right.
And then if they're paying the closing costs and you have maybe some type of help on, some of the down payment assistance, different things that we have, you can literally get a deal that you would have gotten 2 years ago, because you can come in with almost no money, closing costs paid, and a 5% interest. So we definitely, I think it's a great opportunity to take advantage of that on new homes.
Yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of people don't get the right information just hearing their landscaper or the pool guy or the best friend who still lives with his parents' basement. There's no basements in Florida, but in their parents' house, just telling them don't buy now because things are there. But unfortunately, you're gonna have a lot of people who are missing a lot of these opportunities. We closed somebody right now at 5.25% last week, and and when people are talking about 7% and tell you not to buy, there are options out there, and like Yuri said, there's people buying it. I mean, some of these rates are costing to buy down $25,000, $30,000.
Yeah.
I mean, like thousands of dollars that the builder has set aside for these times to make sure that the inventory continues to move.
Yeah, and there's actually other builders as well that what they're doing is that you're closing at 7%, for example, 7.25%, but they're giving 18 months that if the interest rate goes down, they'll pay the refi to bring you down. So that's pretty cool too. So that if hey, I want to wait a year to see if it goes down to 6, for example, or 5.5, these builders basically will pay your refi to bring you down to that interest rate at that time, up to 18 months.
Yep.
So it's a pretty cool deal, but you don't have to wait, because if you wait, let's say for 6 to buy there, whatever house, let's say it's a 500 now, it's going to be 550, 575. Correct. Then, that's really the key point, is that the prices in Florida, we're not talking about Kentucky or Alabama where nobody wants to live. Sorry, Kentucky. Sorry, Kentuckians.
That was a joke. I love Kentucky Fried Chicken.
Yeah, that is good. But in Florida, we have short inventory right now.
Yeah, we do.
We're really short inventory, and we got people from Brazil, from Colombia, from Chile, from Canada, from UK, from New York, from California coming here every day. So because we're still, believe it or not, one of the cheapest states, Texas and Florida, compared to the rest of the states.
Correct. And but prices continue to go up. So what we're trying to say here, whoever's listening and still thinking about purchasing or investing, it's if you wait, there's really not a reason to, because there are other options right now that you can actually take advantage of and still be in a really good spot. And if it goes back down to the 4s or 5s or whatever, then at that time go ahead and refinance. Why not? But you've locked in your price, and you've locked in that equity that you potentially could lose in the long run. So I think that's very important to know. Absolutely.
I mean, right now we have clients that are selling, or they're refinancing, or taking a HELOC out. Most of them that bought a year ago, that have the least one probably like $100,000 in equity, $150,000 in equity. So that's definitely proof that, for sure, real estate is going to continue You know, stabilize now. We were going up like this. Now the last 3, 4, 5 months has stabilized, and it's going to continue to stay there and go up now really little by little. So, but it will continue to go up. You know, we're just looking at one of our properties that some townhomes for Airbnb that one of our realtors here bought at $450. Now they're at $610, and they put 10 in the market and they sold in 3 days. It's crazy. So definitely it's a great place still to buy, and then you can always go down on the interest rate anytime.
Yeah, that's the really tactic to take. But yeah, don't let the interest rate, scare you from actually purchasing, because that's something that's got to always be there. You know, unless you have the cash in the bank, you got to finance, and you got to go whatever the rate is. You know,
and it's also compared to what, right? Because if you're renting, you're paying 100% of interest,
right?
Because everything that you're paying, you're never going to see again. When you're paying on your principal, interest, taxes, and insurance on your payment now, the interest rate, it's a part of it, but you're also paying down to the principal. Plus, you could also deduct your what you paid on interest from your taxes. And a rental, you cannot deduct. Next year, they're going to go up on the rate. You may not buy your little poodle because they don't let you have it. You cannot hang anything on the wall because you're gonna have holes in the walls. So poodle or Shih Tzu or whatever you prefer, or a cat if you're a cat person. But you cannot do nothing a lot of times on a rental. So compared to a rental, rental is a lot more expensive.
And it doesn't have to be your dream home. As long as you get into the market and stop paying rent, that asset's going to become something more in the next 3, 5, 6 years. So that's always going to be the case, you know. How about investments? What have you seen investments happening the last couple of people like investing into real estate?
Correct. Yeah. So on the investor side, it's moving a lot because investors are seeing that a lot of people obviously are not pulling the trigger on buying, and there's some good opportunities. Some builders that are giving amazing, deals. And Airbnb, it's always so far compared to long-term rental, Airbnb is still by far, you can make 20%, 30%. And something that we're doing a lot is actually, there's a lot of people. The shortage of the market is also because a lot of people that would want to sell right now, they have a lot of equity. They're thinking, okay, I sell now, but then I have to buy at 7%.
Correct.
And they might not want to do that. So we actually generate a report where it tells you how much equity do you have and what could be your options if you take that equity out. And it's like a line of credit. If you don't use it, you pay zero. But if you use it, we can make a comparison. Let's say if you take $150,000 out of your home and you buy an Airbnb property, that Airbnb property is going to pay itself, make money to pay the HELOC, and maybe even pay some of your mortgage on the house that you're in. So that's definitely a huge trend that's happening right now. And we have a new product, which is a 5-day HELOC. Basically, you put in your information, and in 2 days, you get a proposal on different type of lines of credit that you can get in your home. And then if you like any of them, in 5 days, you close, and you get the money to buy an Airbnb property.
There you go. Mm-hmm. So opportunities, you're sitting on some equity, definitely take a look. It's a good time to take that money out and lock in your price and start generating some passive income. I think that's really, really good. So for investors out there, we've seen a lot of brand new investors and young too, like 21, 22. Maybe made some money through, it's all e-commerce and cryptocurrency or whatnot. And now is the time to actually get in there and buy that, duplex, or go and buy that, Airbnb or a little fixer-upper and put a tenant in there, because it is a time to just get up there. I mean, we know companies that are buying 30, 50 homes a month to put them on buy and hold. And so that guy's got to tell you something, right? Where people are spreading some, wrong information out there. You have the smart ones actually, presenting offers and buying properties to buy and hold for the next cycle. I think that's very important. So, so if you've been on the fence, you gotta just take a look at that, look at some resources, take your, do your homework and make sure that you get on there. So, I think it's very, very important. Anything else that we talked about? So we talked a little bit on new construction. We know that you are one of the founders and the head CEO of Queen Homes, which is a custom builder here in the Central Florida area. By the way, if you're looking to build a home, call me first, and then I'll put you in contact with her. Yeah, absolutely. But you do build how many homes a year?
I mean, this year we're probably gonna finish at about 25 homes, 28
Okay.
homes. We're starting 16 in Citrus Springs right now, which is a really booming area right next to Marion Oaks, about 30 minutes before Ocala. And we have some homes in St. Cloud right now. And we're actually about to launch a new program that we're going to have for investors because we get so many calls from investors. I want to build a house and I want to keep it. Like I want to generate cash flow. So we're going to have a new program where basically we'll give you the cost and we'll do cost plus of a percentage. And you can actually, the beautiful thing about it is that you can build a home with us. And compared to the final value, you're going to be probably like at 80%. So once the house is done, they can come back with a DSCR loan, cash out complete. I was going to say Spanish. Cash out completely their money and then keep it for rental.
Nice.
So that's a great way to build wealth because literally you're getting homes with almost no cash.
That's awesome.
To rent the property.
There's many different things out there available right now. There's seller financing in certain spots. There's subleasing on, rentals right now. You can re-sublist it for Airbnb. So there's no reason not to get into the market and start, actually profiting from real estate, which is definitely if not the best investment that there is here in the United States. I mean, it's incredible.
Oh, by far. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have to talk about crypto. I mean, I haven't looked at that for like 6 months. I don't want to cry. The app is in there. I don't even want to see it.
It'll come back. It will come back.
It will come back
it'll come
for
back.
sure.
Yeah.
But, definitely not a lot of people getting in it right now.
Yeah.
And stocks, obviously, is up and down. Some people make a lot of money with stocks. But for sure, real estate by far is the number one way to build wealth.
No, it's incredible. It's incredible. And, we're right now in almost to the end of the year. There's a lot of things that I think a lot of companies have to prove, including a lot of the builders out there. I think a lot of year ends right now. Some of the bigger builders like D.R. Horton and a couple of the ones that are fiscal year ends right now on September 30th. So we're still experiencing, not only from the builders and the resale side, a super low inventory, right? Super low inventory, and prices continue to increase. Is that right? Right. So
Yep.
This is again a really interesting market because just people kept on saying, 2023 rates are going to be high, people are going to stop buying, and the price is going to start to go down. And we've seen actually complete opposite. We still got under 2 months less of inventory left, meaning like if everybody stops selling houses today, we run out of houses in less than 2 months, and the prices continue to rise.
Because of the shortage of inventory.
The shortage of inventory.
Talking about Florida.
Central Florida. That's right.
Talking about Central Florida. There's
Florida,
other
Tampa,
pockets
yes.
that are not the same in the United States.
Yeah.
But talking about Central Florida, I mean,
Yeah. No, it's
we're the
incredible.
number one capital. I mean, tourist destination in the world. Airbnb is never gonna stop. Unless Disney stops, and Disney will never stop.
The roots run deep.
And Universal and more
Yeah.
parks opening up. I heard.
Yeah.
So definitely, it's a great pocket of the industry where you will continue to cash flow money on a monthly basis, and then you can have an exit strategy 3 years out, 5 years out, and also make money if you wanted to exit.
And very also important for the people who are trying to sell their home or maybe holding on. Maybe this will help you a little bit because you're maybe locked in. Say, I don't want to buy because I have a 7% rate. I'm going to get a 7% rate on the next property I have, so I don't want to do that. But really think about when you purchase your property. If it was during COVID or before, like 2021 or before, you have a ton of equity. So really what's kind of trapped or what's locked in is whatever you owe. It's not the whole entire equity either. So like if you bought a house at $275,000 and now it's worth $425, really, and you owe maybe $220,000, the 220 is the one that's kind of locked into that rate. The rest of your equity is not. So it's not a reason to go ahead and not do it. You can do a 20% down, not have mortgage insurance, keep your payments very affordable, and get into what the next situation is, which is either a bigger house, smaller house, relocation, whatever it is. So, I mean, it's just a very interesting market, and we continue to rise in prices. Inventory is low, and I think that's the way it's going to keep on going, regardless of what the interest rates are.
Yeah, we've actually had people like on that same example. Let's say they bought at 275, now they're at 450. So let's say they have 150, 200, and they sell. They can buy with one of these developers at 5%, put 20% down on a new house, and the payment is actually the same or less of what they're paying now, because even though the interest is more, they're putting 20% down, and they still have money in their pocket.
Yeah.
To do something else.
Correct.
So you gotta talk to an expert. You gotta talk to somebody that's every day. You know, if somebody's bagging your groceries in Winn-Dixie, don't talk to that guy. You know, come to somebody that really, this is what we do every day. And at the end of the day, we're going to give you the options. It's your decision at the end of the day. But we can give you all the options of the truth of what's really going on.
Yeah. So lots of definitely good opportunities out there. You know, talk to an expert, like you said, wherever you are in the nation. You know, if obviously in Central Florida, call us, send me a DM. But you know, it is very important to know and educate yourself, because you don't want to miss a boat. I mean, during COVID, people were saying, oh, don't buy it because the market's going to crash. Everybody's going to go in foreclosure. And the complete opposite happened, you know. And people, to this day, I have people call me and say, man, I really wish I would have listened to you. I should have bought in 2020 and 2021. And now I can't even, you know, I don't qualify, or there's nothing really good that I want, or I lost out. So don't be stuck in that situation where you're losing out on this next cycle, because we're seeing completely different. I saw a report probably was Thursday of last week, of the available homes ready to close in D.R. Horton, which is one of the biggest builders here, for September 30th. Mm-hmm. It was probably about 200 homes. Mm-hmm. And over the weekend, I got the new report on Monday, and it was half. It was half of the homes available. It was like 100. So again, don't let anybody tell you that people are not buying, people are not selling. Oh, yeah. That's not the case right now. You know?
Well, you know what we should do is we should open the MLS, and the MLS tells us how many homes have sold today.
Oh, yeah.
And in the last 24 hours, in the last 7 days, you know, and you'll be amazed. I had a class and I was doing that, and we looked at thing in 3 days, and it was like 4,000 homes. Like, Jesus Christ, you know, there's so much still appetite for homes in Central Florida.
No, it's very, very good. So, and then aside from that, you know, that's a little bit of real estate. As far as like the real estate work is, obviously we head of an organization, G1 Nexus, now powered by LPT Realty. LPT Realty has actually reached now about 5,400 agents in a short 18 months of being in existence. So, you know, we are seeing, you know, a lot of people, you know, decide, are they coming in the industry? We saw that people leave probably the last 6 months because they say, oh, interest rates are high, I'm not gonna be in real estate. So you know, we were like, hold my beer. But you know, there is an also opportunity in that sense. You know, if you're looking to, you know, change a career, you know, real estate right now is actually, you know, one of the most lucrative businesses right now, especially in this market, I believe.
Absolutely. I mean, you know, you got to look at your options, right? I mean, if you're a talented salesperson and you want to get into the real estate, actually, you know, I have a class right now of 14 new realtors, and new meaning last 3 months, 4 months, haven't done a transaction. They've done 1 or 2. So to them, this is a normal market. I think that unfortunately, there's a lot of realtors that are, I don't know if the word is maybe jaded, you know, because they started 3 years ago and they were used to just taking orders and, you know, going on a Saturday, sign 3 people and then go to the beach for 2 weeks. And now you really got to work.
Yeah.
You know, now you got to work.
Twice, 3 times.
We're working 3 times to get that same deal done, let's say.
Yeah.
But we love it. I mean, that's still real estate. What is the alternative? You know, I'm not doing Uber. You know, I'm not going back to work as a teller or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta understand that real estate, it's a cycle, and we've gone through this already several times. So if you're here for the long term, actually, and you're coming in on real estate right now, you are gonna really learn the basics in the real estate, so that 6, 8 months, 12 months from now, you're going to be with so much more market share because it's going to be even easier at that time.
No, it's, you know, you got to work. You know, there's a lot of opportunities, but, you know, you have to be committed. You know, I was talking on a reel the other day, and I was saying, you know, there's actually more realtors now than there were 3 years ago. I think there's about 23,000 now in our area, in our Central Florida Stellar MLS area. And actually, Florida is now was named the state with the most real estate agents.
Really?
Yeah, the whole entire state with the most real estate agents. But
wow, that's hard to believe.
Yeah, but
more than New York, more than LA.
Supposedly.
Damn.
I said, yeah. So, what that brings to the question is, you know, there's a lot of people that, you know, and actually, out of those, that statistic is 10% of the businesses. I'm sorry.
10% to 90%?
80% of the business
It's done by the 10%.
It's done by 10% of the agents. So about in our area, like 2,400 agents are doing 80% of the business. So that means, so always, that's kind of like in both sides, as an agent or as a client, you got to look at that, because as a client, you want somebody that is in it, and some people sometimes tells me, oh yeah, my cousin's a realtor, and I always ask, because I kind of sense it, are they a realtor or do they have a license? Because it's two different things. A respected, full-time agent is the one that looks into the market, studies, the market, knowledgeable, where to go, what to take, how to negotiate, how to not underprice, stuff like that. So, but yeah, I mean, that's really where the type of market that we're at. As an agent, you have to make a decision,
Yeah, I think that if you are a client and maybe you're interviewing agents right now, we'll give you a secret. Just download HomeSnap.
HomeSnap, yes.
It's completely free. It's an app.
Yeah.
Download HomeSnap, and then when you have that agent, oh, Eric, you say you're a rock star. Let me look you up. And he'll tell you how many transactions they've done in the last 24 months and the types of transactions. He'll show you everything. And you're more than welcome to look us up and see what we do. So that's definitely a way that you can know for sure, if somebody's doing, because especially now, if you're a buyer, you want to have somebody. Another realtor told me the other day, realtors now have to have the Batman belt, with so many compartments and so many tricks and so many. They need to know, all the financing available. They need to know so much more stuff now. It's not as easy as just putting a property in the market, get sold, or showing a property and get sold. So if you have somebody that really knows what they're doing, if they're in a team, like Jeremy's team, that that have so much training, so much follow-up, and good leaders that can guide them and get involved, you definitely now more than ever need to make sure to get a great deal to have a really strong realtor for sure.
Absolutely. And with that, take a look at, like you said, statistics, and just be be in the place where that who you're hiring is going to be someone that's going to be efficient and get the thing done. I mean, right now, people still don't believe it, but multiple offers are back. Multiple offers are back, and I've listings. Seen some of them, above asking lists. I mean, literally the last 3 or 4 listings I've had have been above asking offers, with 12 offers on the table, and we've done highest and best. And we're back to that because the inventory is so low. I mean, those are the things that are happening. So again, training is very important. As a consumer, make sure you're hiring the right agent. So I think that's very good. So, but that's a little bit about the market here in obviously 2023. We're in August right now. We have a lot, to look forward to. A great end of year. We have about 3 months left, 4 months left or something, right?
Merry Christmas.
4 months, Merry Christmas. It'll be gone by the blink of an eye. I've been telling, everybody in our organization, listen, just take, don't take for granted the time that you have. You have to actually work hard at it, because there's a lot of opportunities out there. For both clients and for us agents, to make sure we help as many people as possible. Any final words to our people here?
Well, as far as the last thing that I mentioned at the beginning with the construction, there was a lot of hiccups on the construction because of the supply chain the last 6-8 months. It's gotten a lot better, I gotta say. So the inflation, it's helping now that, there's not as much traffic when it comes to, especially materials. So everything is kind of come back to normal, and that's also going to help with the prices, that the builders don't have to go up that high because the materials have stabilized. And a lot of opportunities on definitely new construction, and also if you want to start your cash flow business, maybe with a duplex, for example, is a great opportunity, and things like that. So if you want to explore that as well, how I can get involved investing in new construction, for sure, give us a call, and that's definitely what we do every day as well.
I love it. So that's your market update. I thank you so much for coming on and spending some time over here with us. And find them at was it YG the Real Estate Entrepreneur on Instagram.
Yeah, it's kind of long, right? I should shorten it.
Absolutely.
There's only one Yuri Gomez, though. If you look up Yuri Gomez, that I know of. There's a freaking singer in YouTube they showed me the other day.
There's also Jeremy Gomez. There's a singer from South America.
Do they sing does Jeremy sing together with Yuri?
I don't know.
I hope not. That would be weird.
That's really weird.
That would be really weird. Let's check that out.
Yeah, let's check that out. Yeah, there was a singer also that was on these shows in South America. Jeremy Gomez, same thing. I was like,
oh damn.
But as always, don't forget to rate, like, subscribe to our channel, 200% Live. We're in plenty of the second season. We're coming to you live here from the Pod Media Live studios. Coming on live broadcast as well on Instagram, so check me out on my pages, and we look forward to connecting and just getting as much information as we can to our audience. And again, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you on the next time on the 200% Live podcast.